The COBIT 5 Foundation Certificate, Module 1, Overview and Key Features of COBIT 5. Welcome to Module 1. In this single lesson module, we'll study a number of topics, including the history of COBIT, the reasons for developing COBIT 5, and the factors driving the development of the COBIT 5 framework. We'll also cover the benefits of COBIT 5, the COBIT 5 format and product architecture, and the relationship between COBIT 5 and other frameworks. Let's begin by understanding the name COBIT. Originally, it was an acronym for Control Objectives for Information and Related Technology. Nowadays, the acronym stands alone to identify the framework for the governance and management of IT. Next, let's take a quick look at the history of COBIT. The diagram on your screen illustrates its evolution from its beginnings in 1996 to its latest version, COBIT 5. COBIT is owned by ISACA, an organization that used to be known as the Information Systems Audit and Control Association. The original framework was a tool for auditors, but over time it has been expanded in scope and depth to provide much more comprehensive guidance. As we shall see, COBIT 5 recognizes that successful governance and management depends on a wide range of factors, including processes, organizational culture, and skilled, knowledgeable staff. Now let's consider why COBIT 5 was needed. COBIT is not the only body of knowledge developed by ISACA. It has also produced the frameworks and guidance listed on your screen. VAL IT, RISC IT, BMIS, ITAF, Board Briefing, and Taking Governance Forward. Each of these had been developed in parallel to and independently of COBIT. The ISACA Board of Directors decided that the time had come to integrate them within a single framework, COBIT 5. In addition, other enterprises had also developed frameworks that complemented the guidance offered by ISACA. A good example is the IT Infrastructure Library, or ITIL as it is usually known. There was uncertainty within the wider IT and business community about how all of these fitted together. COBIT 5 is intended to clarify the relationships and align with these other frameworks and standards. So, we've seen two specific reasons for developing COBIT 5. More generally, COBIT 5 is intended to tie together and reinforce all ISACA knowledge assets with COBIT, and provide authoritative guidance for the governance and management of IT. Many of the drivers for the development of the COBIT 5 framework are common to all frameworks. For example, the need for guidance in important or topical areas, for example, service management or sourcing. The need for guidance in the exploitation of new emerging technologies. These technologies enable the enterprise to engage with its customers in new ways, to offer them innovative products and services, and to attract new customers. An obvious example is the Internet. And the need to get better control over IT solutions that are increasingly initiated and controlled by users. Many users are very IT savvy and will develop their own mini applications based on commonly available spreadsheet or database products. This can cause a variety of problems for the enterprise, ranging from audit and compliance issues to dependence on software that is undocumented and unsupported. You'll find some other examples in your study guide. Enterprises are increasingly dependent on their IT services. First-generation IT services typically automated existing routine clerical tasks. Now, though, IT services allow enterprises to do things that simply could not be done before. For example, many supermarket chains allow customers to select their groceries online. This increasing dependency has a number of implications that have driven the development of COBIT 5. For example, the traditional dividing line between IT and the rest of the business is becoming increasingly blurred. Indeed, in many enterprises, IT services are so deeply embedded in what it does that the division is just not there. Business stakeholders need better control over IT. The business will only be successful if it is supported by the right services. From the opposite perspective, the business will suffer if its IT services do not match requirements. And the costs of IT form an increasingly large proportion of the enterprise's total costs. It is essential that services are cost-effective and deliver value to the enterprise. Other drivers for COBIT 5 come from outside of the enterprise. Enterprises must comply with ever-increasing legal and regulatory requirements. And there are many frameworks and standards relevant to the development, delivery, and management of IT services and technology. COBIT 5 clarifies its relationship with these other practices and enables stakeholders to understand how to use them together. Your study guide contains a list that includes other COBIT 5 drivers. You should take some time to study the list. Okay, we've looked at the factors that drove the development of COBIT 5. Now let's think about who might use it. COBIT 5 drew on the real-world experience of scores of professionals, consultants, and academics. These individuals drew on experience that was gained in commercial, not-for-profit, and government enterprises across the world. Its advice can therefore be applied to any type of enterprise, large or small. Obviously, though, the implementation of the advice will vary from enterprise to enterprise. Information is the lifeblood of any enterprise, whether it is large or small. Access to quality information is essential for good decision-making. Decisions such as, should I loan money to this organization? What goods should we dispatch to a grocery store? Which club members should be asked to renew their subscriptions? COBIT 5 is very much concerned with the governance and management of information, regardless of how it is held. The key idea here is that it is the information that is important, not the technology. Having said that, the technology itself is important. It's the technology that provides the means to collect, store, process, and make available the information. COBIT 5 provides a framework for the governance and management of IT that helps the enterprise to maintain quality information to support business decision-making, generate value from its investment in IT, and use IT to achieve operational excellence. In other words, to become very good at what it does. IT systems can help a retailer to become very good at selling goods. They can help a motoring organization become very good at assisting motorists. They can help a charity to become very good at raising donations. Other benefits that COBIT 5 bring to the enterprise are: it enables IT-related risks to be maintained at a level appropriate to the organization. The use of technology, particularly new technology, brings risks. There are risks associated with the development and introduction of new services. COBIT 5 puts the enterprise in control of evaluating and making decisions about risk. It enables the cost of IT to be optimized. In other words, it enables the business to ensure that the cost of IT is justified by the benefits it delivers. For example, by ensuring that IT solutions are not over-engineered or that services are not enhanced unnecessarily. And it helps the enterprise to comply with legislative, regulatory, and contractual requirements. An enterprise can suffer loss of business and severe penalties if they fail to meet these requirements. In some cases, executives can be subject to criminal prosecution. The benefits of COBIT 5 might be summarized as: COBIT 5 provides a comprehensive framework that assists enterprises to achieve their goals and deliver value through effective governance and management of enterprise IT. Important features of COBIT 5 are: it establishes the primacy of stakeholders' needs over IT activities. It creates an approach to governance and management of IT that encompasses and integrates with the enterprise. It creates a common language for IT and the business. This enables each party to understand the other's needs and constraints. And it is consistent with accepted governance standards. A key feature of COBIT 5 is the goals cascade. The diagram on your screen illustrates this. As you can see, stakeholder drivers influence stakeholder needs. Stakeholder needs cascade to enterprise goals. Enterprise goals cascade to IT-related goals. IT-related goals cascade to enabler goals. The big idea here is that the COBIT 5 goals cascade provides a top-down view of the enterprise that aligns activity with the stakeholders' drivers. We'll explore this in more detail in Module 2, but we'll introduce a key feature of COBIT 5 right now. COBIT 5 documents a set of generic enterprise goals that apply to any enterprise. It also documents a set of generic IT-related goals that apply to any IT organization. And, crucially, it links those IT goals to the enterprise goals. It identifies which IT goal supports each enterprise goal. Finally, COBIT 5 documents enablers, such as processes, and links these to IT goals. In other words, it identifies the processes that support each goal. The point here is that if you know what the most important enterprise goal is in your organization, then you can use these links to identify the processes that are most important to the goal. We'll return to this topic in later lessons, but it is a very important and very valuable feature of COBIT 5. Okay, we've learned about the benefits of COBIT 5. Now let's look at its format and architecture. First, you need to understand that COBIT 5 is a work in progress. At the time that this course was being developed, only 4 guides were available. COBIT 5, a business framework for the governance and management of enterprise IT. We've already mentioned this, and you should have downloaded it by now. If you haven't, then please put it at the top of your to-do list. COBIT 5, enabling processes. This contains detailed descriptions of the COBIT 5 processes. COBIT 5 implementation. And Process Assessment Model, PAM, using COBIT 5. Note that this guide is not branded as a part of the COBIT 5 product set. Other guides are planned or in preparation. You should check out the ISACA website to monitor availability. The diagram on your screen illustrates the COBIT 5 product family. The enabler guides document each COBIT 5 enabler in detail. You'll learn more about enablers in later lessons. For now, think of them as providing the glue that joins the framework to the professional guides. The professional guides are aimed at specific professional groups. You can see some example names which I think explain themselves. The online collaborative environment provides web-based tools and resources. Okay, we've learned about the COBIT 5 product architecture. Now let's look at the final topic in this lesson, COBIT 5 and its relation to other frameworks and standards. The diagram on your screen illustrates the mapping of a number of frameworks onto COBIT 5. The topic is not tested, but you can find out more by reading Appendix E of the Framework Guide. Okay, that completes the first lesson of this course. In this lesson, you learned about the drivers of COBIT 5, the benefits of COBIT 5, and the COBIT 5 format and product architecture. You've also completed Module 1. In Module 2, we'll learn about the 5 principles of COBIT 5. But before going on, you will need to complete the short quiz for Module 1. Remember, the quizzes will unlock the lesson as you progress through the course, so that you study in a structured way. Once you have completed the quizzes in your learning path, you can repeat them at any time by using the Quizzes button in your Learning Portal.